we get asked frequently, what are the guidelines for training? How often should I be training? How many sets should I be doing? How many repetitions should I be doing? Also, what's intensity looking like? So we're gonna break it all down, give you a nice structured guideline to follow. Disclaimer though that this is definitely geared more towards someone that's more beginner, more novice, more amateur than someone that's more experienced, has trained for months and months or years and years. So also if you have a specific goal like hypertrophy training, strength and power training, aerobic capacity training, like a very specific goal in mind, not so much the structure for you. This is just for someone that wants to make training more a part of their weekly habit, their lifestyle, and get into a more of a regimen, and they just don't know where to start. So frequency, 2 to 4 times per week. If you've never trained before, if you've never stepped foot into a gym, if you don't have a home gym, if you don't know where to start and you're starting with like no equipment on a mat in your living room, that's okay too. That's a great place to start. 2 times per week. Get confident with 2 times per week. Make it so consistent that you don't even think about it, it's automatic. And then add 3 times per week in, and then add 4 times per week in. It's a gradual process, and to be consistent, you have to make it attainable, and then be sustainable at that. Do it again and again, have that consistency, and then add another layer on top. People go from doing nothing to being like, I'm gonna work out 6 times per week. Not only is that doing probably more harm than good, it's not attainable, you fall off the bandwagon and you don't stick with it. So we're looking for small improvements over a very long time, 1% each day, and a year from now, you'll be very, very happy with how far you've come. So start with 2, build to 3, tap out at 4. More than 4 does more harm than good. So think of it that way. That's not to say on your resting days where you're not doing structured training, you can't be physically active. You absolutely can. Go for hikes with friends. Maybe go on a fun bike ride, a leisurely bike ride with no really set goal and end. You're not doing it for so long that the next day you wake up sore and feeling burnt out. Go be physically active, go do other things. It's just not structured training with a purpose, with intent. So that's frequency. Sets. Per movement that you're doing, you should be doing 2+ sets. Okay, don't go just do 1 set of bicep curls or 1 set of shoulder press, then 1 set of squats. 2+. Most people do 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. 5 is really what I would say is like the max you should be doing. Anything more than 5, and again, you have to build up to that. Start with 2, build to 3, build to 4, build to 5. Anything more than 5, a lot of people are still pushing kind of heavier weight that they can't really withstand. Form starts to get sloppy, we lose intensity, we lose focus, and we just crap out, to be honest. So 2 to 5 is the sweet spot, honestly. Again, build up, and you don't have to do 5. I rarely ever train 5 sets. 3 to 4 is really my sweet spot. So find what works for you, but that is the parameter you should be following within. And then repetitions within each set is 8 to 12 reps. So again, start with 8, build up to 10, build up to 12. Maybe you're doing 12 reps and it's like, this is kind of easy. So then maybe you move up weight, you go back down to 8 reps. At that higher weight, you build 8 to 10 to 12. You're doing 12 for a while, up the weight again, go back down to 8, and keep building and building and building. There is no limit with training. There is no point where you kind of can't push more. More weight, more rounds, more of anything. And if you get to a point where you're kind of plateauing, change things up maybe a little bit. Don't get bored. Again, there's so much you can do, so keep with it, keep consistent. So that is frequency, sets, and reps. Intensity. Unfortunately, there isn't like specific parameters with this, but you really shouldn't be doing everything all out, balls out all the time. And I think that's pretty common sense. Every rep, every set shouldn't be 100%. You should start a little bit easier, maybe second round, second set, you add a little bit of weight, or maybe you up the reps, third set, same sort of thing. Shouldn't be going 100% all of the time. With aerobic capacity with running, again, that would be if you're someone with a very specific goal. There are better parameters. There's heart rate training, zone training, heart rate reserve training, and guidelines for all of that. But for just general training outlines and guidelines, 60 to 80% effort on a scale of like 0 to 10, 0 being this is a walk into the park, and 10, I can't even do this. I like my clients to be around a 6 to an 8 effort. Sometimes depending on what we're doing, up to a 9, but never all out, balls out, nothing left to give. Again, that's a guideline for general health and just making improvements, being consistent, and doing this for the long haul. So that's the breakdown, that's the structure. 2 to 4 times per week. 2+ sets per movement. 2 to 5 is typically a really good range for people to fall into. 8 to 12 repetitions per set, and then intensity should be somewhere around a 6 to an 8 on a scale of 0 to 10.